I'm fully expecting something like surprising here from Team Heretics. I mean, they're gonna have to. Pearl, we saw how they played just a couple days ago. It looks like they are hovering the same comp as before. I'm not the biggest fan of the Breach on this map, but like I've been saying over and over, drilling it in, they need to have a different plan than the one I saw just 2 days ago.
Exactly. I think Heretics got run over in their previous map playing Pearl.
Wait.
This time,
yes!
it is a switch up.
Okay, this is what I wanted to see out of Team Heretics.
I believe again. Yeah, I'm back. We're so back, baby.
Oh, and Priyan's on the Sova. We're so back.
We're so back. We're so back.
I actually love the Jet Yoru comp versus how Wolves like to play. Now, Heretics are starting on attack, but once they go to defense, you have two agents that are fantastic at playing forward lines and beating contact plays. What do Wolves love to do, especially with a comp like this? Play the entire map, let a lot of solo players look for different lurk timings. Jet and Yoru absolutely crush that style of play.
I'm really excited to see kind of like a bait and switch between the Yoru and the Chamber on Wolves' side. We've seen G2, a team that is very dominant this year so far, play a very similar comp on Pearl to great success. So I'm really excited to see what they implement, what they take away.
Yeah, the pressure seems to be for the side of Wolves here because this is a map they love to play. They have a lot of experience and a very high win rate too. Speaking of wins, let me give you another W. Here's Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much. Here we go. It is elimination time. One of these teams is going to be going home. The winner sticking around for at least a little bit longer, still with an opportunity to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a crazy high-stakes match for Team Heretics and for the Wolves. I mean, the Wolves said it, you know, hey, we're coming in loose today. We don't feel like we have anything to prove. If we win, great. You know, nobody expected a lot out of us at this tournament, but for Heretics, it's the complete opposite story. Everybody expected a lot out of them. If you look at the tier list that fans and the analysts and everybody was putting together, Heretics were often at the top. So this needs to be a big game for Heretics if they're going to get themselves back into that position to maybe make a run.
Absolutely. Already, though. A bit of pace here from the side of Wolves. Juicy just storming out of mid doors. It's a quick check over towards Shop. Sees nothing. Should lead Wolves to the conclusion that this A side's about to be attacked. Moving forward here from Minibu, gets himself situated on the site. Spike still needs to be brought forward. The wall holding them back for the moment. Linestorm. Here backside dodging that concuss. Does get spotted out. Riens collects it through the smoke. Finds a kill. Smoke dropping. Juicy able to find one. Trades it back. Juicy even trades it up.
One enemy
also going to be
remaining.
getting involved. Final shot's going to go flying across. Two players on the side of Wolves still standing tall. The pistol is theirs.
Chamber.
Tremendous util here from Sufat. Just a really nice ability to get that haunt down. That really broke things open for the Wolves. That fade util, so powerful in his hands. The IGL does such a good job, not just with his util, but with his shooting as well. But Juicy, the one thing I was really impressed about with him, I mean, obviously you and I got to cast him all the way back at Ascension when he was on Bleed. An incredibly talented player. We know how good he is. But this is his first time at the international level. And he was unafraid. I saw him just going in. Whenever his team called for him to make that play, to be that guy, to go in and maybe even just die for the cause, he was ready, willing, and able. And he, once again, stepping in there. A little concerning with Lysor. Tried to make a sneaky play behind the box, but at the end of the day, didn't cost him too much.
Nope, full investment here. Outlaw in the hands for YU, just holding things down over by mid doors. Looks like once again, Heretics going to poke and prod a little bit. They get the orb take over on towards Minibu to try to get that dimensional drift online as quickly as possible, but in the end, this is likely going to be a 4-player push in through A main. Just trying to death ball and overwhelm anyone who would be waiting for them on the site.
And you got a little bit of extra Vice utility there to back up the Astra if this execute does come through this direction. So it is going to be a little bit tricky. You know, the Yoru can get past it a bit, and you have a Jet as well. So you do have some options to bypass some of the stall, some of the delay that this double Sentinel Wolves comp brings at you. Along with that Astra, of course.
Looking for the flick attempt there, unable to find it. Just going to be a little bit of info gained. You see the Astra cutting across from Shops. That should tell you that the A side is about to get hit, especially as the Prowler sees nothing in Link. Free fire shot, connect onto Woot, puts him down to half HP. So Wolves in position to try to go for a flood retake, or if not, just slam the door here in their faces. Minibu does come away with one. Juicy going to be taken down. Second shot there from YU, able to connect. Wants to push forward, denied. The plant money cannot do that, but still will be able to pick up a 3K. And that is going to be overall a very clean anti-eco win as Wolves start things off 2-0.
Yeah, looking really solid here. maybe a little bit off with some of those outlaw shots for YU, but that's okay, because the game plan was good. You had a lot of stall at the front of the A site. You were able to get just about every flank position possible here. And you've got Dugout, you've got Secret, you've got Flowers. You have a great
enemy remaining.
position to just flood in there, knock them out of the round. And the quietest pop-off I've ever seen.
Do I stand?
You know, I had a chance to talk with Vade a little bit today before the match, and you know, asked him how he felt. They were super confident coming into today. The one player he mentioned was Lysor. He said, you know, this is the guy who has experience on the big stage. We need him to step up more.
Need that back. Need that back.
So they fair. Bucky in hand for Spring. He's holding close over at A. And Juicy hits the one tap.
Goodness.
Guardian just absolutely obliterate Boo. She'll send the cage to slowly drift across over towards Art. Spring pushes forward into the smoke. Does get flushed out eventually as Rienz with the spray will be able to get it to connect. But this is still already so much damage dealt, and they haven't made their way into the site quite just yet. Wood's still tagged up. Only 65 health behind. Is thrown over the top. Will be able to get the spot out on the one. Doesn't get the dart though, so can't just try to go for the wallbang shots here. Tailwind now expires, flashes into their face. The spike still not brought forward here into the site. Fish is thinking about this flank, but now has his eyes turned back into the site itself. YU arriving, doesn't hit the shot, but now they consistently have to have heads on swivels. As Lysor on the quick peek, finishes off with Juicy, gets Benji Fishy. And Wolves are about to give themselves a bonus conversion. Rienz needing to pull off a miracle. 9 remaining here in the magazine. 3 swings out. It's Juicy's 3K. Go ahead and seal the deal on a 3-0 start.
Juicy, so deadly with this Guardian. Just winning an isolated battle there against Boo. Spring, who was tremendous throughout that match against the Sentinels. Him and Juicy both just really, really stellar. But Spring absolutely was a hero at times. I mean, he won so many rounds for the Wolves. Believe it or not, he's second in ADR right now in the tournament.
Give me a
Spring only behind Texture.
It's pretty insane considering coming out of the pause. Very closely fought one. 3 Sheriffs, a Frenzy, Stinger here. Heretics looking to try to change up the pace a bit. Light Spray, only gonna get a little touch of damage there, but Spring will be able to snap one for the headshot. Who's gonna be taken down?
He's just so clean. He's doing a great job there. He's holding his angle, not overstaying his welcome. Not giving Team Heretics the ability to stack an extra man and trade. Very efficient stuff.
They're basically trapped in here at the moment. Wall does get popped by Rienz.
But I like this from Wolves. They're just giving this up. They feel the pressure. They've only got 2 in position. They don't really have full information other than Rienz. They don't know if they stuck around inside a link. We're going to find out here real soon.
Lysor obviously here, hearing that. Does get pinged out. Does get taken down. Miniboo with a very nice headshot. Brings it now into a 4v4. Spike getting planted. Safe spot here for Boo. No punish to come through. Still 2 players from Wolves needing to rotate all the way across the map. And now Miniboo has a Phantom in hand, as well as the Dimensional Drift. Is he committed? That's the question. Maybe with one more kill, you'd certainly feel a bit more inclined to do so. Benji Fishy though, yeah, right through the corner. There at Alley, gonna be taken down low, and okay, push coming through. That's gonna be the transfer connecting. Rienz with another headshot though, now finds himself in a 1v2 situation, trying to clutch this out. Weapon recovered. The Nebula, however, dissipating, gets the spot out, finds the kill! But YU with the headshot keeps them off the board.
Similar scenes for the Wolves to what we saw against Sentinels. A hot start. But this time it's on the defender side, the side of the map where they struggled a bit. But here on Pearl, they look so in control. As you would maybe kind of expect with the comp that they're running, but they're still doing a great job of setting up for these post plans, being really, really patient, coming from a lot of different angles.
It's always that other side of the coin though, because for Heretics, they have that Jet Yoru, they have that double duelist, and the impact hasn't really been coming through. Overall, a decent round from Miniboo. It doesn't lead to the win. It gets them close, but close is not going to be good enough.
Now you've got this ultimate to deal with. tour de force available. Gonna try to hide from the drone.
No one here to clear this out for him, so we'll just go for a bit of a timing peek before the quick exit. It's back around the corner. Hunter's Fury gonna be lobbed in to try to get the tracking here onto him. Dances around it. Comes back the opposite side. Does manage to stay safe. Miniboo now. Swaying towards upper. Exits the dimensional drift. It's gonna be looking for a punish. Spring on the peek out. Able to find Woot. He goes back through. While you taken down. Value to be found there from the tour de force, and Spring's flushed out. We're still rotating around, gets himself in position to join in with Shufa Baby, but now they find themselves in 2v4. Boo once again gets the spike planted.
Spike planted.
Be tough to go for this one. Really, the haunt and the seize.
Last player standing.
No charges.
Now it may just be a save.
That basically makes it impossible. He's got plenty of money. He knows that Heretics don't. Playing for some damage. Gonna be the worst idea here for him. See if he can actually get anything as Shock Dart does connect.
We'll catch them.
Looks like in the end, will just be a quick little repivot back over to the top. Spot out, but kill cannot be found, and now you've got Boo in pole position to go ahead and get this punish. Will be able to do so. So 4 players surviving. Team Heretics, that's the round win they've been looking for.
Yeah, this is just a really good aggressive round. You know, Janos has been talking about the way that this team likes to accelerate. This is a round where they just punish the solo chamber. No real good opportunities for that tour de force to do its thing. YU gets shut out of that round pretty nicely, using that Hunter's Fury as well to really clear open the site for themselves, along with, of course, the dimensional drift. So that's a really solid round there for Team Heretics to pick up. See if they can double down. There is going to be the operator, though, for YU. Do have a dimensional drift and a cosmic divide of their own. Quick dash forward. Main control established in a spot there. Onto Spring.
Spot with no punish, but that allows for Miniboo to just go ahead, grab up another orb. And 2 charges towards the next dimensional drift. Juicy has his online. Cosmic divide there for Wolves.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Heretics try to isolate YU again and try to punish him. Worked in the previous round. He looked a little shaky with the snipers. So maybe that's an angle that you can find to really start pushing the Wolves' buttons a bit. But instead, looks like they're going to set up for an A crunch. They're going to have a little bit of info on this. Here comes the dimensional drift from Juicy. Just saw the back.
Spotting out the 2 players. The others getting ready to strike in. Now advancing forward through Art. Juicy exiting that, trying to make them constantly consider the flank in from behind. Cosmic Divide going to be invested as well here at Spring. The Cubby looking just for a wallbang attempt as the plank gets ready to come through. Otherwise, it's just going to be providing audio here for the team, and Wood up and over the top. Ends up getting taken down. Shots on the re-ends, not quite going to connect. Gets himself out alive as the spike does get planted. That does give a player advantage here to the side of Wolves. Full flash coming through, but Ice would just kind of push forward in front of the walls, all crumbling to pieces. Spring's Fat Baby do manage to bring this into a 2v2. Hero Theft getting the reveal. Benji Fishy holding his own. Ducks back behind the enemy Cosmic Divide, using it against them. Pushes forward now into the 1v1, but time ticking away, dwindling down. Looking to try to close this one. Boo reading it perfectly that he's not sticking this at all. Backs away, now knows that he has to commit to it. And he will strike, takes the second tap. He gets the kill all the same. Narrow margins, but Heretics will pick up a second round win.
Yeah, this looked like it was going to be a decent round here for Wolves. They've got good information. Spring's position in the dugout, really annoying to deal with. He tried to spam on towards the spike there as well. But then, yeah, exactly. But then they're able to just kind of flood past that Cosmic Divide and do some real damage real fast to the players of Wolves. Catches them out in the open just a little bit.
Into the game. I like that we're fighting. I like that we're going forward, okay? Let's keep that up.
Absolutely.
Maintain that aggression.
And now you've got Wolves on their first eco. So you've got a real opportunity to get very close.
Pixel angle from Boo. Looking very clean. Fat Baby going to be taken down.
And now just a bit of a fallback to wait this out a little bit. I mean, I think they're waiting for their moments to accelerate. Got both of the duelists together, and that's a nice shot from Miniboo.
A bit of an off angle. Up on top of that little ridge, not something that you typically see players do. You see now having to manually move over to try to re-clear this B site. Push not coming in though. Heretics looking to just be a bit flowy with this round. Don't want to over-aggress, don't want to put themselves in bad positions to get punished.
Yeah, they're just really being diligent.
Spike drop.
Very concerned about an aggressive Wolves play, and you do see this from time to time from them, where they'll try to spread the map or just send some lurks. So you got to be real careful.
Take flight.
You never know when one of them's just going to start walking up mid on you. Rian's
30
going to go for the
seconds left.
check. Will get the spot there. UC identified.
Try to get the wall bang kill. Has been able to do so, but flash out. Many just storms the site. And that is quickly going to be the remaining players of Wolves dealt with. YU still slowly creeping over to see if he can try to stop this from being a flawless round. Nebula dissipating. Boot's there. Boot is instantaneous with it. Flawless round. Team Heretics running this back, establishing a very strong economy.
Yeah, this is really nice for them. Starting to find their groove, starting to make some good reads. Yeah, against Nico there, but the previous 2 rounds starting to really come together. It's a tight angle there for Boo. No problem at all. Boo set up with the Nova Pulse.
One enemy remaining.
Able to follow up nicely. Spamming through the smoke. Knows somebody's probably back there. Yeah, just a good round for Heretics. Starting to get the wind underneath their feet. Another op invested here for the Wolves. Trying to get YU going on that chamber.
A bit of a reposition, but it's a heavy stack towards this A side of the map for the Wolves, but everybody right now from Heretics storming their way down through B. Dimensional Drift will go ahead and ensure that this is cleared out for them. Is everyone now having to back away? Double stack going to be noted here in this position. Just a flash, quick exit. Looking to maintain control of this upper position. Tiny little licks of damage going to be taken here by Miniboo, but widely Heretics in firm control of the site. YU still checking around, lingering to try to see if there's a lurk, but just don't have the information that every one of the others is here from the side of Wolves.
Yeah, I like that we're playing long here. Avoid this nightfall. Beautiful.
I mean, but Benji Fishy, okay, gonna be caught off guard a little bit there, point blank. Nice, we're able to come away with the kill. Invests the ultimate. Weapon's gonna be taken out of their hands. Rian's now dead. Woo here inside of the smoke has a shorty. This time had shells loaded up, but only gets the one pup off. It's like we're down to 55, and this retake from Wolves is looking damn clean. Re-swing out, nothing that Boo can do. Full 5 pacing. Wolves will keep Heretics at arm's length.
That's a brutal round to fall for Heretics. Great stuff again from Wolves. Retakes looking really solid overall. They've been converting pretty nicely on them. But I thought Heretics were going to have a really good idea here. You maybe leave one player close because you got the Nightfall and you got the Vice ult, and they just kind of try to play it up close, and they chew through some of those ults, and that really opens things up for the Wolves.
This is my new favorite thing. Just the silent, calm stand-up.
Yeah. Just letting them know that you're not flustered at all. 3 rounds in a row, no problem. We're punching right back. Similar scenes here, trying to cut off this A main access. Seems to be a real pain point they want to identify.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Maybe we're just going to be trading some rounds out here. That's why you trying to go for the blind shot. It's going wide, but Juicy dead. That is a critical target found here for Heretics.
There's no full committal to this push. Spike's still down, back by Spawn, so for Heretics, they're looking for a reaction. One of the things that concerned me a little bit with Wolves against Sentinels was Sentinels was doing a great job baiting out their util when Wolves were on the defensive side and really giving themselves advantages in that department. So definitely need to see the Wolves maintain their discipline as this one goes along. Rian's gets a little bit of info. Boo very close to another Cosmic Divide, and they're going to stack up for another A hit.
Nebulous popped. YU play out in front of this one here at Art, but it's getting fully flashed up. Has to make a quick exit with the rendezvous.
30 seconds left.
It's just here on the opposite side. He can hear their movements, hear their footsteps, but doesn't know when's going to be safe to try to go for the strike. Would just get taken down there mid-air. That's YU tries to go out with the headhunter in hand, but just get taken down. 2v4 now. As Wolves try to stretch this lead a little bit further than before, though, and Miniboo already lingering within the smoke. Finds the punish, and Lysor might just have to go for the save. Looks like that is going to be the call. Or at least a quick peek over in towards Secret. Miniboo looking strong, looking deadly. Gets himself a 4K. It's Heretics once again just one round away from tying things up.
Just that early kill there onto Juicy. Makes things that much more difficult for the Wolves, and Miniboo having a whale of a round. 4 kills for him on the Yoru. And that's really good discipline there from Team Heretics. Not overextending, not pushing past where their comfort would be. You know, anticipating that the Wolves are going to be pretty close quarters. You're not going to fall into that shorty. You're not going to give them any opportunities to kind of reestablish that retake. Just holding the line. Really, really nice stuff. And Wolves, I think, need to calm down a little bit. YU looks a little shaky on the chamber. Doesn't seem to be quite in control. Some of those snipers and the headhunter as well looking a little bit off. So probably a good time here for Fade to get in there and try to mentally recover the team a bit.
I'd say overall the patience here from the coaching staff of Heretics ends up paying off. They don't opt to go for a timeout after that 0-4 start. Now they're one away from tying things up here on Pearl, and it's Wolves who have to pull the trigger on this.
Yeah, I like that a lot from the Heretics coaching staff, because this is a team that has way more experience on the global stages than their opponents. So you can rely on Miniboo to be that guy, to be the one to get the troops back under control, so you don't have to burn that precious time out to do it. So really, really showing some faith in their team, showing some trust. And it is paying off as the Heretics are back within 1 round again. We'll see what they want to do coming out of this. Wood has a Blade Storm, but not necessarily something you're going to pull out on rifle rounds unless things get a little bit wild. We'll see. Unless they have some kind of trickery up their sleeves.
Might be good for the entries when he's trying to clear out dugout.
Yeah.
Having the blades online.
Definitely usable. Look at all this Vice util. Shift in direction here for Lysor.
I mean, they're relying on him to basically be able to hold this down. Given the tendencies for Heretics to try to poke and prod around this A side, at least in the early stages of the rounds.
Well, and it's a shift back to what worked on the bonus for Wolves, and that's Juicy pushing up long B, holding down that main angle. And nobody has made any contact with him, so he's falling back. This is kind of making Wolves lean more towards the A side.
Just for the setup on the dimensional, or rather the gate crash here. It's going to end up taking him a hell of a lot further away than he might like, given that we look to see Heretics committing onto this site. Okay, just pop Spring though. Wow. Pre-firing, able to find Woot. Gets the elimination there. Benji Fishy similarly going to be taken down. Juicy holding back. Pillar now can make his exit. Woot does manage to find one as Spring will fall. So in fact, maybe able to go ahead and tuck back into Hull.
30 seconds
Self-protected. Riens and Boo now. But to try to clutch this out. And there's the first step. But it's all down to Boo. Spike in hand, but position noted, knows that he is going to be surrounded. Dodges the C's, gets away from that, but as he pushes back forward, he will meet his demise. Wolves, timeout works a treat. They get themselves to 6.
Yeah, this is really into the Wolves' wheelhouse here. Finding these one and dones, finding these picks. Something they're really, really talented at. There's no doubt in my mind about the individual skill on this Wolves team. They are extremely fearsome. Need to get YU going there with the kill. Juicy, so good all the time. Siufat, tremendous outings for them against Sentinels. Some huge clutch plays. And IGLing to boot, but Spring will be their top fragger once again as Juicy trying to push this angle. He's got a little bit of help. Clears the drone.
YU just only has a headhunter and a shorty at the moment. Either way, plenty of presence noted here.
My ult is ready.
As Hunter's Fury now going to be online with that orb take. Cosmic Divide available, and that's going to be committed immediately. We've got Spring here playing forward in front of this one to try to find some kills, and kills he shall find. Rien's wound, Benji Fishy, all just absolutely annihilated as Wolves lose 1 and guarantee a lead at the half.
Spring is so smart. He finds these angles against the Cosmic Divide where he's going to be good for at least 1 kill. We saw it earlier from the dugout position. Now he finds 3 big ones.
Incredible.
1 enemy remaining.
Their own Cosmic Divide available here for Spring. as well as a dimensional drift for Juicy. Who's got one to match on the opposite side. That Hunter's Fury still available, and yet there is plenty to be happy about. Shoot that baby, I'm asleep at the wheel a little bit. Woot finally pulls the trigger on this Blade Storm. Finds very good results.
That's what I was looking for. A little bit of trickery there, and up and over. Find that first kill. That's a huge one. Taking the fade out of the equation. It makes retakes way more difficult for the Wolves.
Gotta be more creative now that you only have one updraft. You can't go for the Meteor Classic. This Hunter's Fury gonna be able to find a tag. Light Sword dodging the shots there. Does manage to stay alive, but Mini Boot right there on top of him. Tugs back. The dimensional drift is Juicy flashing himself. Trying to enter in towards Art. Just stomping around, dead. The spray out from Spring finds him while you falls, but it doesn't matter. Suddenly just Benji Bitchy left. The spike dropped here at the entrance to the A site, and he only has a stinger.
I think they're going to be able to suss this out pretty quick. Juicy just cleared Art.
The desk was talking about 4v5 conversions earlier on.
30 seconds left.
This is going to be a hell of one for Wolves to find. To get themselves 8-4 at the half. Another multi-frag round here from Spring.
This is looking really good for the Wolves. A lot of good coordinations, good adjustments, and Spring is popping again.
Out in the lead, we're able to find the opening pistol. We'll see if they can get the second, or if Heretics can continue to try to run this back, make this a bit more contentious. We'll find out after halftime.
One enemy.
Eight and 4 the score here at the half, with Wolves out in front on their map pick of Pearl.
Now, let's take a look at the Coinbase Econ report.
There's one number that sticks out.
Yeah, for sure. Spring is absolutely just cruising right now. I mean, he's had some peaks, but he just was a consistent force. So many multi-kill rounds there. So stalwart on that defense as the Astro. Whether he be on the B or the A side, he was finding his moments. Just unbelievably talented player for the Wolves.
It's 17-7-3 at the moment, as far as the KDA is concerned. I mean, he's got YU and Juicy both covered as far as kills are concerned. The impact is being seen. It was seen in their opening series versus Sentinels as well. And he is not missing a beat at all. Heretics, though, down by 4 rounds, looking good, looking contentious in that first half. Looked like they were going to be able to maybe tie things up, make it a 6-6. Those last few rounds slipped away from them. They now need to have an explosive, strong start as they swap over onto the defending side.
No doubt about it. Now you're really looking for Juicy to accelerate for the Wolves. Start kicking indoors. Start finding ways to break through the Heretics' defensive lines. Kind of a 2-1-2 here. Benji Fishy going to be locking down mid with his U-tilt, putting a long cross right outside of Art with one of the trips. The camera right at doors. And a little bit of a push out from Boot. He is checking out towards A, but that's where the trademark is there for YU. So that doesn't seem to be the angle that Wolves are considering for their attack. They're lining up for a B hit all the way.
Prowler heard. An orb take here. Trying to get Juicy towards that dimensional drift.
Changing
Slow
thoughts.
creep away.
Yeah, no contact there. Maybe feeling like it might be a trap. And they didn't get any responses from their util. They still haven't. They're trying to figure out where the hell Team Heretics are.
Flash. Not gonna catch anything there. They clear out this cam. He's had connected, but Benji able to wait that one out. He's waiting to try to see if he can find a moment to strike the Tyler. However, will scout him out. Move for the Sheriff.
30
off
seconds
screen,
left.
finding YU as shock darts get lobbed in, and Juicy falls down to 60. And right now, a little bit contained. Minibu goes up over the top of screens, finds that kill, but Juicy trades it back. Two eliminations going to be found. Now it's just Juicy, Lysor. 130 health between the two of them. The plant now coming through. Woot down to 22. Any damage from the Ghost basically will be able to find an elimination there, but who was going to be the first target, the first point of contact, and Juicy is able to win it out.
Player standing.
Himself alone. Swings, somehow catches Benji Fishy! And now it's just the Jet with no HP to speak of. As he looks for the ace, and he will find it! Wolves get both pistols, Juicy gets the ace! 9-4.
Unbelievable. I said I wanted to see Juicy accelerate here on the attack side, and that is as good as it gets. Stellar stuff from the duelist.
And he does it with 60 health.
That is just nasty.
Player
The
standing.
long range win. This one right here.
One enemy remaining.
The heartbreaker. Oh.
Whips on the Jet to kill Benji Fishy, and then gets the closer. That is devastating. Marshall going to be invested here from Minibu. Trying to hold down that B site. Slow approach from Wolves. Are working their way into position where he could potentially find some value with that sniper.
Yeah, they're trying to fish it out. I mean, this is something you have to suspect with Wolves. They do love the Outlaw. You know, whether it's a very popular gun.
It's just a double push up here. They haven't confirmed or heard this Marshall at all. Minibu makes it sing. Great headshot. That's the Vandal on the floor. Spring in position to potentially recover it. And let's have it in hand now.
Damn. It's a crazy good shot. This is something that Heretics like to do. Buy up a little bit on these ecos. Marshall, Sheriffs.
Right there.
Gun here.
Just peek out. Not sure if Spring had been spotted, but other players
Playing the Sylvan spot.
not quite being noted here. You still
30
have 4
seconds left.
from Heretics all the way across the map.
Take hold.
A lot of pressure on Minibu. Try to find a bit more value here. Has to clear the Prowler. They know his spot, and that's going to be Spring, taking him down. 4v4, but weaponry
Spike
not
planted.
really to their advantage whatsoever unless Woot can come up with some absolutely insane shots with that Sheriff. YU potentially in a poor spot. Pressure getting ready to fly through. And yeah, you're TPing right where you were standing already. Rian's not going to fall for that old trick. Collects the kill. Outlaw not going to be the greatest weapon to try to get the retake going, but they look at Overwhelm. And Overwhelm they have.
Last player
It's
standing.
Woot. It's back-to-back shots to the skull. Lights are down to 10. He will take it down to 2 remaining players, but Team Heretics, they will take the thrifty win.
Unbelievable. The Mastercard Thrifty coming through there for Heretics. Punching right back after getting aced. And Woot, player who we got to see a lot on the duelist role back at Master Shanghai, has been playing Jet on this match. The one time they played it against Na'Vi, he comes up huge with the Sheriffs. Sometimes you might question a little bit these investments that Team Heretics likes to put in their eco rounds. Can be a little bit costly if they can't convert, but this one right here, that could be a game changer.
Yeah, if there's anything that can really get the players jazzed up locked in, it's a round like that, especially off the back of an ace from Juicy. Is YU hearing the orb take, sees the trip set. Be able to find any kind of punish here, though.
Lysor with a frenzy here. Use that tripwire. It's going to have to be cleared. Hot flash on a timing there for Heretics. Didn't quite catch the Wolves, but right idea, wrong time.
Try to lock them in position there. It's straightforward, and YU unable to escape. Dead far too quickly. It's Benji Fishy ready for these players to come drifting out of that smoke, and Mini Boot is connecting with the stray shot on the Lysor. Shuts down this push in every which way.
Juicy TP'd out of there and just trying to wait it out, see if anybody gets aggressive, and it could catch him with the right click. Interesting choice of classic there, Juicy.
Showing some support, but ultimately he's going to have to die. He's trying to assess his options, figure out what the best play is going to be. Had he just immediately sprinted over towards the B site, would have at least been able to get the plant down, get money from that. Instead, it's just going to drift into art and not be ready for Benji Fishy to be on a deeper angle. So kill comes in. That's flawless as Team Heretics continue to try to run this one back. 3 rounds still separating. Wolves still in a good position, but momentum is not on their side.
Now you're going to be able to afford an operator for Woot. Still going to be the judge for Boo. This one, a very important round for the Wolves to try to stop the bleeding here. Things have been going oh so well. You had gotten the second pistol, and all of a sudden, script has been flipped. So Juicy with the ult of his own. Could do a little bit of fact-finding. Heretics trying to play aggressive on this angle. But Wolves back for now. Smoke to obscure. Mini Boo.
Who's next?
Try to slide forward. Ult popped, and he knows they're probably somewhere near.
Plant a spike.
Sees them both. Gives them all the information here about the site that they could possibly want.
I'm back.
As the clones go flying. Juicy. This exit out of the dimensional drift. Both players now contained here into halls. Flash is going to be exchanged. Springs it behind one. Juicy looking to go ahead and get this second elimination. Sends it on the corner, and Mini Boo eats the whole damn thing. Site broken open. Even then you have the op in tow. Heretics are going to have to just go for the save.
This is beautiful work from Juicy. Using that dimensional drift to great effect. Kind of understanding that Team Heretics were corralled in the back alley. And he just says, I'm going to pop out behind their cyber cage. They're going to have no idea I'm here. We're going to clear the site with one of our prowlers. The other prowler we're going to use to follow up after I get the first kill on a flash. Beautiful work and coordination there from the Wolves. And Juicy, when you need a duelist player on the attack side, he has answered the call. He has been ridiculous.
There's encroachment on his positions coming through. Spring maybe having a pretty solid idea about where a jet with an operator would like to go, and well, he'll find out the hard way that he was correct. Ends up going to take it down. Off will be held. Boo similarly surviving. Money's going to be there, but Heretics now calling their first timeout of the match.
Yeah, already an early timeout. We want to talk about ways that they can avoid some of the Yoru shenanigans there. Kind of just in a spot where you're just smothered by the flashes. I mean, yeah, Mini Boo's just seeing stars.
Yeah. Bit of a rough one there. The util just goes to show how on point it was from Wolves on the exec. So timeout call for Heretics. Try to rally the troops, get that energy flowing once again.
Yeah, one thing I'm so impressed with the Wolves, watching some of the VODs, especially against Sentinels and here against Heretics. It sounds strange, but the way they play around smokes, the way that they don't just kind of sit inside of a smoke and try to hold an angle, like they'll use your smokes against you. They'll play in positions where a lot of people wouldn't necessarily try to challenge you from these little nooks and crannies, from these corners that are unexpected. Spring was the one that I saw doing it a ton, especially on split against Sentinels. But in that previous round, you saw Juicy do it a little bit there, using that cyber cage against his opponent, so they don't quite know how close he is off the back of his ultimate, and they're using tons of util to clear the site. So they pretty much know that they can isolate and lock down that position with their util.
On up, still retained. Woot, looking like it might be just a shallow little angle here on the A site, peek in towards A main. That's where the lion's share of the Wolves are going to be.
Blind is dead.
TP behind the box. Prowler cleared out by Rien, so the op shot hasn't sung out quite just yet. Looking with a quick little scope in there. He's trying to reposition. Wolves just throwing forward onto the side. Benji going to be taken down though as YU peeks down towards that B site through the connector. Comes away with the kill. Kill found, but door widely slammed shut here in their faces. Wolves are quickly going to pivot away.
Yeah, that kill from YU is huge because it opens up this angle to be more comfortable for this rotate. And now we can try to hold the line somewhere else, but the drone here, not sure if it saw him. He's going to reposition off the back of that. Try to just catch him off guard. I think they did see him. They pinged it out.
Probably not the spot that you would expect him to fall back into. Who still does get the check. Takes a double take, but comes away with the kill all the same. Cosmic Divide invested though, so they can safely get the plant down. Knives now going to be popping from Woot as they get ready to go 4v3 into the retake. Boo just here, opposite side of the wall. Dimensional drift. Going to be coming through, gets body blocked. They're actually letting them out for a brief little moment, but the players are still going to be spotted all the same. It's all the info here for his teammates. Trying to send the flashes, drops out of this one, but he's just trying to wide swing, and Baby says absolutely not. Doesn't give him the opportunity. Woot still does manage to go ahead and swing around the pillar. Find the shot, Spring flushed out through the smoke. It all comes down to Lysor, who will swiftly dispatch. Timeout works for Heretics. The gap once again, 3 rounds.
Yeah, just beautiful util usage here from the Heretics. Getting that identification onto YU's position over an Art, and being at least somewhat mentally prepared that he could be around that corner. Boo was checking it as he was swinging. YU, no chance. Nice attempt by Mini Boo, but the flash never really connected.
One enemy remaining.
And then they're able to just kind of understand, hey, there's only 2 more. They're both in alley.
Nice, guys.
Just lock that down.
Let's go.
3 rounds away from tying up the Wolves. Starting to look good. And let's see if they can keep it going. Still have that op. Still at A main.
One from a Nero, one from a Hunter's Fury. As narrow margin to try to find that shot. Lysor actually trying to hold this angle. Woot just disrespects it. Goes out, finds the kill. And Juicy's just gonna get sprayed down by Riens. The wheels are coming off now as Heretics. They are finding their groove. There's nothing more to be done here. Sufat and Spring than to just try to lock a position down and hold on to these weapons.
You gotta save here. You gotta keep these guns into the next round. Like that Woot changes up his play round to round with the operator. Previously, he had just fallen right back after taking that opening shot. This time, he dips back through and catches Lysor off guard, takes that kill. That starts putting the pressure on the Wolves. They're trying to spread the map, and it just does not go their way, and that's something that the Wolves can struggle with. They're a team that likes to try to send out multiple feelers, trying to figure out where the open space is, using a couple different players.
30 seconds
and
left.
if they can win those individual battles off that individual skill, looks great. If they can't, things just kind of fall apart, and they're left in a position like this where they have to hold on to their guns for an extended period of time in the round.
We'll be able to retain them. No one really storming out to try to hunt them down.
10 seconds left.
Heretics not wanting to take any risks whatsoever, but it will be a flawless as the gap closes one step at a time. 8 rounds now picked up for the side of Heretics. Wolves going to be scratching their heads as they find their economy down in the dumps.
Yeah, this is starting to look really nice for Heretics. That timeout had worked a treat for them, and now it's actually going to be a counter timeout. I was curious how much longer they were going to hold on to this, but the gap narrowed to 2. That seems to be the moment that Fade wants to get the ship back under control, get it steered in the right direction again. Don't want to let this Heretics team get hot. That is when they get scary.
Have been steadily becoming more and more alive. I mean, look at the recovery from Woot. He was bottom of the charts for quite some time now, finds himself 12-13-2 over Riens and Benji Fishy. Run back on this Jet on this defending side overall has been quite good, but the two brothers Mini and Boo have just been very good this whole way throughout. Key reasons why Heretics are playing this so very closely.
Yeah, really consistent. And if you can get some of those rounds from Benji Fishy, where he just shuts you out with his tremendous rifling. Saw it on Icebox against HyperX, where he was just able to single-handedly just claw a couple away from his opponents. We know what he can do when he's on fire with those rifles. He is so darn accurate. He can lock down that position over towards B Link. Because that seems to be, I think, where the Wolves want to try. They've been really trying to brute force their way through A main. Haven't been able to find much success in that direction.
Honestly, Economy not in a great position, but two decent ultimates to try to make a thrifty go of it. They have the Nightfall as well as the Steel Garden available, so they're in a position to clear out the site, take these guns out of the hands of Woot and Benji Fishy. Here's a possibility here for Wolves.
Yeah, and they're trying to spread out a little bit. Trying to give up this space a little bit intentionally, and that's a good shot for Woot.
It is. Benji, of course, does have the shorty behind here, just ready to play off his own trip. Them going out, the rush coming through, just about able to find it, but it's still going to be a good amount of damage. Delta's weapon gets recovered, and Rienz gets taken down. Suddenly, sights open up. Woot's still here, though. Basically shoulder to shoulder with him. The peek on the angle. Lysor instantaneous with a headshot. That Sheriff coming up huge. Miniboo drops down, finds one, gets out. Now, only has 30 HP. Barring a miracle, my God, I think Wolves have actually done it. Because Miniboo, yeah, he's going to back away. He doesn't want to try to go for this. The thrifty to come through with just the two carried over weapons. The ult's working a treat. Wolves will be 2-round wins away from taking Pearl.
Now, once again, it seems like Heretics trying to avoid those ults as best as they can. And I think Benji Fishy has a decent idea there. Oh, you gonna guess?
Seems like no. Oh, he got him! Spring is just too damn smart.
He is something else.
Wait until the last millisecond to make him think that he was safe, to think that he was going to survive, to hold on to the weapon before he tears everything away from him.
Fat. Eating some of those shorty bullets for his teammate. Finds a double kill with 10 HP again. Did that against Sentinels with a Sheriff. The clutch around. This one just breaks the site open.
Title.
Even Spring's a little bit surprised there that he got that last kill.
This is a full-blown guess, and that means that Heretics are going to be sending the final timeout of this map. Once again, down by 3 rounds. Need 5 in a row if they want to avoid OT.
Now you've got some tough decisions to make. You know, how are you going to change up that defense on the B site? You're doing a great job locking out A. Now you got to find ways to stall and react a little bit better. Of course, there aren't going to be those same ults in play just quite yet for the side of Wolves, but in general, giving up a lot of space at Link really opened things up for the Wolves to make that execute. And for now, looks like maybe they're just...
And somebody time.
Oh. Yeah, how much was left on that clock?
Absurd.
Oh,
pretty much all in on this one. Only a couple players on the side of Heretics with a decent economy.
You have to consider you dropped that op over as well. So you have to be a little bit extra careful because you know that's still going to be in their hands. It's in YU's hands for this round.
To utilize it still, though, is Woot. Hadrian's clear the haunt. While you swinging, it's going to be at a disadvantage. Woot is able to go ahead and come away with the kill. 4v5 now for Wolves. Needed if they want to get up to map point right here and now.
Seen some great positioning early in the rounds for Heretics, and that's a nice shot from Miniboo.
Swing out, Juicy. Dead. 100 spears from Rienz. Coming away absolutely monstrously. That baby going to be taken down. Lysor tagged to 70. Once again, I think Spring and Lysor just going to have to stay tucked together, find a safe place, and try to ride out these remaining 40 seconds.
This is just on a knife's edge. It feels like every time one of these teams might start to run away with things,
30
everyone's
seconds
able
left.
to punch back. The Wolves there gonna scoop that op back up and try to fall back into some safety. Let's see if Heretics can maybe find some last-second gun steal of their own if they wanted to go hunting. Boo's got plenty of money, so he could be the one to make a go of it
10
potentially.
seconds left.
But for now, it seems like they're content to stay, but just locking down mid there. I mean, this is, you were able to shut down Juicy from getting through towards B-Link, kind of one of those pain points from the previous round. So things are getting addressed here very quickly. Another nice timeout for Heretics. Absolutely effective.
Going down without a fight. It's a really nice vertical flick there from Woot. The necessary one, it feels like. But from there, the round just absolutely gets away
down mid.
from Wolves. Quickly turns to chaos. They end up drowning in it.
You're going to hang on to that op at the very least. Benji Fishy does have a neural theft. You know, they're all currently online. Boo went away from his, though. Could get a cosmic divide here in some fashion. I don't suspect the Tour de Force is going to be used this round, but you never know. Stranger things. Still holding on to all of his util. Just content to try to see if this time Heretics get a little bit more aggressive on that mid control, but it is very far back. These positions for Heretics are near their spawn.
Clear on the Prowler. Just gonna go ahead and take the gate crash as Star gets set up there to block off the B access. Seems like that's going to be the call to rotate made here for Wolves. As they go stomping across towards this A site. Trip's gonna be set up on that art exit over towards stairs, and now you've got Woot on a line back by Flowers, staring into A main.
The Heretics are trying to make decisions off negative information, meaning they don't have much. They're going to get a rude awakening here in a second.
Woot on the push. Fake goes through. They'll confirm the position on the off. C's going to be going in, and Benji Fishy pushes forward, mows down two. Neural Theft now going to get the ping reveal here. Spring is desperately trying to break through. The repeat here from Woot is able to find it. Riens takes down Lysor, and that leaves just YU left standing now. The time is just not going to be there for him.
I have the spike.
Spike is
10
picked up,
seconds
but
left.
it's just too precarious a position to try to make a play. So instead, he'll just hold on to the operator, or try to. As he falls down to 59, the push coming through from Boo off the flank, and somehow YU does not read that at all. Up, lost. Tour de Force behind, yes, but Heretics are one round away from tying things up.
Dude, Woot with this operator is so fearsome right now. And then Benji Fishy steps in. Needed to see some of those big plays from him, and he's Johnny on the spot. Gets the neural theft to boot. And then that is easy pickings for the rest of Team Heretics. They've got all the info they need to cut Wolves apart.
You want to play? Let's play.
Now he's up on the box here. This is such a cheeky angle.
Just changing around the positions.
Good flash, though.
Able to confirm a bit. As a dimensional drift gets the spot out on one of the more critical players here to try to identify two back behind the pillar. Juicy now exiting, sees him. He's just lingering here within the cage. Benji on the opposite side. Smoke's obfuscating all. Boot finds the off-cut onto one, pushes the smoke. Shorty out, Lysor dead. Pops the Bladestorm immediately. Tails went back up through B long. Green peaks. Shot goes a little bit wide. Spring is able to collect one. Juicy back over at Halls.
Spike down B.
Finds the kills. It's just Mini Boo left, but Spring will deny. Chaos abound, but Wolves this time thrive in it as they get themselves up to map point.
That is absolute madness there. On a knife's edge. Some of those shots, if they just could have landed one way or another, you know, maybe Woot hits that op shot onto Spring and it could be a very different round. It looked like he was just going to take this round over, switching into that Bladestorm when the pressure was on. Juicy stuck in the cyber cage, and he still manages to outdo Benji Fishy there. Just another great round off the back of that dimensional drift for
We're off to the
Juicy.
races, it would seem. They're looking for a fight here! Over at OMEN! And YU comes alive and sits them down. Move frantically backpedaling the Prowler on the chase. The spot out on Orien's over by Art. The Thorns at stairs, they hold him back, they spray him dead through the smoke. As the spike gets planted, Wolves absolutely crank up the pace here on the round. 2v4. As the Nightfall gets the connection. Everyone from the Wolves. Disconnected into main. Their own Cosmic Divide going to be used. Wrap around coming through. Fat Baby trying to arrive over towards Art. The push out coming through. And they're both shot dead. 13-10. Wolves take the opening map in this elimination series.
They came in with a lot of confidence to start 4 rounds in a row. Since then, it was a lot of back and forth, but that start was good enough to get them over the line on their map pick of Pearl.
Big glow up though from Heretics compared to the last outing on Pearl. Now they have their map pick of Lotus coming up next. We'll see if we can get a tied up series when we come back.